I want to share with you a topic and a message that actually I've had in my life and in my heart since the very beginning days of preaching. It's probably one of my first messages in the first few years. And recently it's just come again to my heart and my spirit to share and to minister. And the name of it is Plateauers, Dreamers, and Achievers. Plateauers, Dreamers, and Achievers. So what do I actually mean by that? And what do I mean by the word plateauer? I don't even know that that's an actual English word. I think I made it up. But it comes from reaching a plateau. For example, if we were climbing a mountain, there would be times we're going up and we're climbing, steep rock, and then we would hit a flat area, and we call that a plateau, right? It's a level. It's a certain area within our life, within leadership, within ministry, within our careers, any portion of our life I'm referring to right now where we've achieved, we've gone from, one level and we've come into another level. And each level would be considered a plateau, okay? So plateauers, I'll come back to it. The next one is dreamers. That comes from a person that has a dream in their heart, that imagines, that thinks forward, that thinks about the future and the vision, what they want to achieve, what they want to do, how they want to impact, how they want to make a contribution. Things that they just want to do in life, have. That's a dream. We're all familiar with having dreams in our heart, and it's wonderful. We need to have dreams in our heart. Dreams give us life, and they give us hope for what's coming. The last one is an achiever. A person who actually achieves, moves forward. Obviously coming from the word achieve, right? So not only is there a dream, and not only have they hit a certain level, but they have achieved and made something happen in life. Okay, those are the three topics that we're going to dig into a little bit more. I believe all of us need to have every component within our life. We need to go to a certain level and learn the lessons of that level. We need to grow. We need to fill out at that particular level, right? We need to have dream and vision within our heart. And we need to achieve. To achieve, we have to go through those different stages. Now, what we don't want to do is we don't want to just sit at the current plateau and level that we're at. So that's what I'm going to refer to as a plateauer, a person who has achieved a certain level of success or ability or influence, could be in finance, ministry, and take any part of your life. And you've gone through lessons and you've learned and you've got to a certain place in life. Could be in your fitness, could be in your health. And pretty much have decided to camp out there. It's gotten comfortable, right? You know that area. You've learned the lessons that got you there and you're comfortable there. A person would be comfortable. And there's really no more desire to move forward or no more inner grit to say, I want to learn more and I want to break the ceiling of this level and go to the next. It's very easy for us, especially as we get older, to become a plateauer. And of course, I'm not using this in a positive or an empowering term right now. I'm using it more in a way that is one that keeps us stuck, right? A plateauer is a person who is stuck, whether by choice or not by choice, stuck at the current level. Maybe they do want to move on, but they don't know how to move on. Maybe they're just comfortable. And at that level, they've plateaued. So we don't want to be plateauers in life. And as I was saying, it's easy as we get older to just be comfortable with what we've achieved. It takes effort, doesn't it? To say, I want more than what I have right now. I want to grow beyond my current level. I want to expand. I want to expand my mind and my heart and my abilities. There is effort that's important to put forward to get out of stuck, to get out of a plateau, to get out of this particular area of success and comfort. There are times we just don't want to leave our comfort zone, and we're just happy right where we are. But I believe that the way God's made us, and we can go all the way back to the book of Genesis and when he created mankind, he put in us not only the command, but a desire to continue to grow, continue to expand. And let's not be plateauers. You know, I used to listen to a man named Jim Rohn, a wonderful man who's passed away, but well known in the personal development industry, you know, and one that I listened to many years and many times in my formative years. So I know a lot of his teaching is inbred inside of me. And one thing I always loved that he would say was that he said, some people they say that they have 30 years experience at doing whatever. And he said, but really what they have is 1 year experience repeated 30 times. Just kind of like going around the mountain, just staying at that same place, just doing what you know to do, just being comfortable where you are. That's what I'm calling a plateauer. Now, we all have to go to a plateau and learn and stay there for a while. But there comes a place where it's time to expand beyond our comfort zone. And like I said, it can be challenging. It can be a little painful. We've got to find out what we're thinking and the thoughts that are keeping us limited. But I encourage you, don't just settle. Don't stay stuck. Don't just stay comfortable when there's so much more. We're learning and talking a lot about living a limitless life. So to live limitless, we've got to break limitations. We've got to go beyond the comfort zone into the discomfort zone to grow. You know, and what I've learned is that it's on the inside of us. It's really in the way we think. Recently, in the last year of my life, I knew I was at a certain level, you know, of success and in leadership and ministry, but I wanted to go further. I had the desire, but I felt like I was actually stuck at a particular plateau, not a negative plateau, a good one that I'd worked hard to get to. But I had this desire in my heart. I want to go farther and I want to grow. But to be honest, I didn't know exactly how to break into the new level. I didn't know what to do. So I prayed and I listened to teachers and I have worked on myself. And it's been amazing because over the last year and a half, over this last time period, by working on my inside, so to speak, and finding out what I think, how I look at life, my paradigms, my self-talk, what I consider normal, finding out thoughts that are empowering me or disempowering me. Through this whole process, I've been able to, thankfully, go from one level into a whole nother level. But it took me diving in to more my subconscious thought and breaking free, transforming and changing thoughts that weren't necessarily bad or negative. They were just the thoughts of that level. So I encourage you, if you want to grow, if you want to go beyond where you're at, go through the pain of that. Go through the discomfort of that. What's the discomfort? It's probably going inward and finding out what's your normal, what just feels normal, and then transforming that into something new. Maybe it's in your physical fitness, and you've got to make a choice to not just be at that current level of health and fitness or weight that you are, and you say, I want to be in the best shape of my life. That was a decision that I made this year. I want to be in the very best shape of my life. But to do that, I couldn't just stay at a plateau. I had a dream, and then I had to move into achieving that dream. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, is the plateauer. And encourage all of us not to just stay longer than necessary at the level that we're at. Remember, again, I will reiterate, we all have a time to stay at a level because we have to learn the lessons of that level. But once we've grown, Once we've transformed, once we've renewed, then it's time to go into the next level. Let's always stay a student. Another principle I believe I learned from Jim Rohn, let's always remain a student, no matter how old we are, no matter what level of expertise we already have, no matter who we are or what we've done. If we remain a student in an internal posture, that means we're remaining teachable and we're always stretching, we're expanding, and we're growing. Don't be a plateauer. Let's be a dreamer and then an achiever. Okay, so that's the first one, is plateauer. The next one I want to talk to you about is the dreamers. Now, the positive side of this is that a dream is extremely important in our life. We must have a dream, right? We must have dreams. What are dreams? They're hopes. They're vision of what will come in our future. We don't have it right now, but we hope to have it in the future. It could be just small dreams, and it could be large dreams. It could be things of great contribution, great success, great wealth, great family, great relationships. It could just be the dream of what you'll do tomorrow and what you'll achieve tomorrow. The dream is extremely important. We must have a dream. The dream keeps hope alive on the inside, keeps us moving forward. I love to take time to do what I call intentional imagination. And you can check out some of our other teaching and series on that, where we really walk you through that process. But where we just sit and we imagine and we dream, and we don't edit at that point. We don't figure out how. We just let our mind and our spirit dream and imagine. It's a key to success. It's a key to living a limitless life, is to not limit your imagination. Again, as we get older, it can be very easy to let our imagination be limited by things we look at in the past as, not working, it's failing, we tried, it didn't work, so why even hope, why even try, why even imagine, all these things that can go on in our minds, subconsciously or consciously. But again, I want to encourage you to be a dreamer. Take time to do intentional imagination. How do you see yourself in 6 months? How do you see yourself in a year? How do you see yourself in 5 years, in 10 years? Dream. There's nothing that will hinder you. Like, you can just dream, and just because you do that doesn't mean you have to actually choose to take action steps toward that dream. You can just dream and then later decide what you want to commit to. Intentional imagination, intentional dreaming is important. Have a vision board. Do something where you're seeing what you're imagining. Now, the thing is, though, what we want to do is not stop at just being a dreamer, right? Because we can dream all of our life and never do anything. And unfortunately, I've, kind of seen maybe areas in my life where I've done that. I've seen other people where it's a lot of dreaming, but then there's not much action. Because one thing I've definitely found and know to be true from the Word of God and just life experiences is dreaming is not enough to be an achiever. It's a beginning. It's a start. It keeps us going, keeps the juice and the energy going, and in our life. And we must have that. That's the starting point. But if we just live in imagination, if we just live in the dream and we never apply action, it's most likely not going to happen. It's the way God set up the earth. It's the way He set up humanity. He gave us seed. He said, here, go plant the seed, cultivate the seed, and from there you will get a harvest. In other words, there's a process. There's faithfulness. There's action to seeing a dream come true. And of course, with every dream, there's always going to be failures. There's going to be disappointments along the way. There's going to be challenges. It's not going to work sometimes, but at least we applied action. We went forward. And even in the failure, we can learn, so that as we continue to move forward, we can apply the lessons to our next actions and eventually see the success and the dream come into the natural and manifest. So I also want to encourage you to dream, but not stop at the stage of just dreaming and being a dreamer only. Because living in dream mode and just praying and hoping and imagining, it's not enough. I mean, there are times that God will just come in and boom, He manifests. But even, you got to apply the action. Okay, so don't just stay as a dreamer. To review, don't be a plateauer. In other words, You reach a plateau and then you just stay. Don't be just a dreamer where you only dream and that's it. There's not much action. There's no forward movement to see the dream come true. Don't be just a dreamer. Here's what I want us all to be and encourage us all to do and to live that limitless life, to be a person of empowerment, to do and fulfill the call of God on our life and to make the contribution that we've been uniquely designed to do. So that's going to be the third type of person. That's an achiever. An achiever is a person who sees results in their life. Now, they might not see the result right away. Most likely, and I can actually guarantee 100%, when you're on your way to success and doing and producing and building, there is going to be failure and disappointment and challenge along the way. You can study any great person of history or any person of even today's present society and from success that we look at, that we consider success. And if you look at their life, there'll be failures all along the way, but they overcame the failure. They overcame the challenge. They didn't just stay in dream mode. Now, I want to say this too, is because when we walk with God, when we look at success in life and achieving, it might not be the way that everybody looks at success. Let's just take this aspect and understand that the success that we want to live in is really living out the call of God on our life. So, others may say, oh, success is having a lot of money in the bank, and success is having influence and power, and it could be an element of success, but we cannot base our achievement and our success based on what everyone outside or even our, just our own mind thinks would be success. To have true success, both temporal and eternal success, and to achieve that, we got to be in connection with our Creator. Be in connection with God and following His heart and asking Him, what is it you made me to do? You see, because at the end of our life, when we look back and we're with Jesus in heaven and we're in eternity and we look at this temporal life, I believe it's all going to be measured and based on what He called us to do. So you're not going to be compared to your neighbor, to your brother, to your sister, to another minister. It's not going to be, what did you do compared to this person? It's, what did you do compared to what I called you to do? Did you fulfill it? Did you walk it out? Now, God is so amazing because He never expects perfection from us, right? Perfection means no mistakes. I believe he wants excellence. I love excellence. I love pursuing excellence. Excellence is doing our best, but it doesn't mean we have to be perfect. In excellence, we might mess up, but we get back up, we learn from it, and we keep going. As John Maxwell says, in his book is, we fail forward if we fail. Okay, so when we're going to be an achiever in life, let's not just look at right now. Let's not just look at what the world says and everybody says and public opinion says is success. Let's make sure we have an eternal perspective on what is success. That's going to be very important in our life, both today and as we walk forward in our journey. And let's dream with God. Now, I believe and know that God also puts dreams in your heart. When He made you in your mother's womb, He put dreams in you. He put desire, He put personality, and He put gifting inside of you. So we don't always have to have a word of the Lord on what it is that we're meant to do. There are things that are just within our heart because God actually placed them in there. And those are those dreams and those desires. And as long as it's not like contrary to His word, as long as it's, we're in relationship with Him and we're walking with Him, we can fulfill and walk out these dreams. Now, there might be times that He really specifically speaks it to you and you know it. And other times you find these things out and you dream and you imagine from your heart and from His. I just want you to have liberty to think and achieve from both your heart and His and in relationship with Him. So what is an achiever? An achiever is a person who has a dream, who applies action steps, who hits a level, a plateau of success, doesn't camp out there and stay there, but then moves on, stretches, expands within themselves to achieve and to keep achieving, to keep growing, to keep doing. Let's be achievers. Let's be ones that contribute. Now, it's always worth saying that we don't do this for God's love or even for his approval. He loves us no matter what we do. Whether we did nothing in our lives, he still loves us. So that we're not doing this for love. We're not doing this out of a performance mentality. In our solid relationship with him, in knowing him and knowing his love, and of course that's always a journey as well, but it's from that position of love and knowing that he approves of us and he's put gifts and talents. Then from that place is how we achieve. We move forward. So, my brothers and sisters, my friends out there, let this word be an empowerment to you. Don't stay stuck. Don't just stay at one plateau. Just don't stay at your comfort zone beyond too long, right? Okay, there's times to be comfortable for a while, but then you know the pressing of the Holy Spirit and even just your own inside saying, I want more. It's time to grow. It's time to expand this talent in my life, this ability. So don't just be a plateauer, okay? You can get unstuck. You can go beyond where you are. Your whole life, no matter how old, no matter how young you are, no matter your background, no matter what. So don't be a plateauer. Don't be a dreamer in my context. Have dreams, do intentional imagination, but don't stay in just the realm of dreaming. Be an achiever. Be a contributor. Be one who walks out the call, the gift, and the desire of God within your life. And don't compare yourself to the other people. Compare yourself to what God's put in your heart. Be an achiever. Okay, I love you all and pray that this message is one of empowerment and grace and infuses you with ability and hope to go forward and to do more. God bless.